Hey, it's a great day. I'm Mike Current, Energizer, and in this video I'm going to go through my resupply strategy for my thru hike on the Continental Divide Trail. So let's do this. A resupply strategy consists of where along the trail the thru hiker intends to get resupplies to continue down the trail. It also includes how they intend to get the resupplies, whether they're going to buy stuff in a store in town or have a box sent to them. For each resupply point, the idea is to have enough food to get you to the next resupply point, not to have too much food so you're unnecessarily weighed down, and also not have too many spots where you're going in to get resupplies so you don't unnecessarily create a logistical burden by having to go in and out of so many towns. For the CDT, I have 31 resupply points that I have planned for. Now I can add more as I'm going down the trail, but currently I have 31 planned. Based on that plan, the shortest distance between resupply points is 33 miles. The longest distance is 133 miles, with the average being 92 miles between resupply points. According to the 2023 Halfway Anywhere survey, the average number of resupply points for a CDT thru hiker is 28 points, with the average distance between resupply points being 110 miles. So this means that I'm above average for the number of resupply points, 31 compared to 28, but I'm below average for the distance between resupply points, 92 to 100 compared to 110. And I'll take that. I'm trying to reduce the overall weight in my rucksack. I came up with my strategy based on looking at the Halfway Anywhere survey, doing a map reconnaissance, which is a fancy way of saying I looked at a map, specifically the Far Out app, and then also watching vloggers who hiked the trail before me. Because of my research, my resupply strategy will also include places I might want to stay in the town, whether it's a hostel or a hotel, a restaurant I might want to try, and then also how I might need to get into the town. Am I going to walk into the town, seek a hitch, a bus, or arrange for a shuttle? Lastly, my resupply strategy includes decisions I might have to make while on the trail, like I need to call this number to be able to get a hiking permit for the next section I'm going through. Essentially, my resupply strategy is my decision matrix. I do a lot of thinking before getting on the trail, and I put that in my resupply strategy, my decision matrix, and that way I can break it out and rely on it as I'm walking down the trail. Perhaps I'm a little tired and I'm not thinking clearly. Once finalized, I keep an electronic copy of my resupply strategy on my phone, and I also have a laminated hard copy that I keep inside my backpack. As I'm creating my resupply strategy, I can hear General Eisenhower whispering in my ear, Mike, planning is everything, plans are nothing. Eisenhower said that because no plan survives first contact. However, the planning process provides us with the knowledge depth to be able to adapt as situations arise. And I think within my resupply strategy, my decision matrix, I have incorporated enough flexibility, enough adaptability to be able to get me down the trail. For most of my resupply stops, I will purchase my food from a store inside a town. However, I am going to be sending 12 boxes to me as I'm going down the trail. According to the Halfway Anywhere survey, the average number of boxes a CDT thru hiker sends themselves is 7, And so I'm almost double that number. And I am cognizant that it is a rookie mistake, a thru-hiker rookie mistake to send too many boxes to them when they're on a thru hike. But I think my strategy is going to work for me, and I'll explain why. And before I get into my box resupply strategy, please know that my box resupply strategy would not work if it was not for my wife. As I'm on trail, she serves as my logistical support officer. 30 years as a military spouse, my wife has got a lot of experience sending me boxes downrange. And both my children served in combat, so she would send boxes to them as well. It's also my wife that keeps me on track. If you watch my watermelon video, you know that I get pretty myopic when I'm hiking a trail. So it's my wife that reminds me, hey Mike, you are at mile marker X. According to the plan, I need to send box Y, so it will arrive at location Z before you get there. Is the plan still good? So she keeps me on track. There are 3 factors that go into my strategy of where I intend to send myself a box. The first factor is my shoes. I hike in Speedgoat 5s. They're great, they work for me, but I need to switch them out every 400 miles. So I know every 400 miles, I'm going to be getting a box. That totals 7 boxes whose primary purpose along the trail is to send me some shoes. There's other things in the box, and that location might overlap with a place I need a box, like Pytown, New Mexico, but the primary purpose of that location is to send me a pair of shoes. The second factor that goes into determining where I'm sending myself a box is I heed the advice from hikers before me. The Halfway Anywhere survey lists the towns where hikers say, hey, you really should send yourself a box there because what is in the town to provide resupply is quite limited. And the third factor of where I'm going to send a box is based on looking at the Halfway Anywhere survey and doing a far out map reconnaissance, is looking where a hitch into town might be difficult. And it might be more advantageous to send me a box to a resort that's close to the trail instead of trying to get a hitch all the way into a town that could be problematic. So the 12 places I intend to send myself a box are as follows. Now, if you'd like to look at these in more detail, all you need to do is press pause on the video, allow a second for the controls to disappear, and then take a screenshot of the screen. Some of these places listed are going to have full resupply, which means they've got everything I need to get through the next bit. And some places, like I talked earlier, are primarily about shoes. They'll have some other stuff in them, but I'm probably going to still get some stuff in town. For example, Leadville. Shoes are going there, going to have stuff in the box, but I'm also going to be doing some shopping in the town. Now I'd like to go through one of my boxes that I will receive on trail. This is a full resupply box. This one I'll be receiving in Pytown, New Mexico, mile marker 415. Pytown is considered the worst town to resupply in according to past CDT thru-hikers in the Halfway Anywhere survey to get resupplies for the trail. They've got a great restaurant, they've got great pies, obviously the town's name, but it's just a lousy place to get resupplies for the trail. So I'm going to go through this box. And before I show you the food that's in the box, please be warned, don't allow children to watch this. This is not how I eat at home. I'm a pretty healthy eater at home. This is how I will eat on trail based on my experience through 2 long thru hikes already. I know how my body is going to adjust. I know how my taste buds are going to adjust. And so this is what I'm going to be eating on trail. Now the first thing to come out of the resupply box is this family-sized bag of M&Ms. This is a tradition my wife started on the Pacific Crest Trail, and it's just carried over for every resupply box I receive on a thru hike. This bag of M&Ms is not for me to eat on trail. Rather, it is, and it's on top of the resupply box, it is for me to consume while I'm going through the resupply box, so I'm not tempted to eat other items that are in the resupply box. The following food items I will go through in the order that I consume them while I'm on the trail. The first item, Pop-Tarts, specifically strawberry frosted Pop-Tarts. These are the first things I consume in the morning. I'm not even out of my sleeping bag before these are devoured. And sometimes they don't last until morning. Get up at 3 a.m. and they're gone. My breakfast consists of 2 instant oatmeal packets and 2 instant carnation packets. I mix these together, cold soak them, and then just slam this down sometime during the morning as I'm hiking down the trail. My lunch consists of ramen packet and the Spam singles. And this is a good example of how my taste buds change. I like tuna fish. I eat a lot of tuna fish sandwiches when I'm at the Subway or Jersey Mike's when I'm at home. But while I'm on trail, I cannot stand those tuna fish packets. But these Spam singles, I can eat these every day. For dinner, I will have a dehydrated meal packet. Now I know a lot of thru hikers shy away from these because of the cost. And rightly so. If you buy these from a store on trail, they're likely to cost $12 to $15. However, if you buy them online and in bulk and you wait for a sale, you can get them for under $8 a pack. And that's what I do. I have enough for each one of my boxes to send me, so I've got to enjoy at least a third of my dinners will be dehydrated meal packets. Because these things are so big, the bags are so big, what I do is just before these go into my food bag in my backpack, I will move the contents from this original bag into a quart-size freezer Ziploc bag. This takes up a lot less space in the food bag and also is a lot less trash for me to be hauling around while I'm walking down the trail. For snacks, I will eat 3 energy bars per day, and I just keep them in one of my hip pouches on my backpack, and I can pull them out whenever I feel like grabbing a bite. The next item is 2 Snicker bars, 2 per day. 1 sometime during the day, and then 1 right before I go to sleep at night. An alternative for the Snicker bar, and the only alternative, would be a Hershey bar with almonds. Other food items that I will consume during the day might include peanut butter. I'll have a jar of peanut butter in each resupply box, or a jar of Nutella, or both. Also, I might have some beef jerky, Cinnabons, or gummy bears. All these snacking while I'm going down the trail. All the previous items I just showed you, I have in each resupply box to get me to the next resupply point, be it another resupply box or the next town where I can buy some stuff in a store. The following items I'm going to show you, I have from one box to get me to the next box. Because even if there's a couple towns in between boxes, the stores, they might not have exactly what I'm looking for or the limited quantities that I'm seeking. First item is vitamin packets. I have one of these packets for each day I'm out on trail. I know that I'm not going to be eating healthy either on the trail or in town, so this kind of helps balance it out. Next item are these super green packets. Again, because I know I'm not going to be eating healthy on trail, each one of these contains the daily dosage of nutrients one would receive from a daily amount of fruits and vegetables. Electrolyte packets. I have 2 per day as I'm going through New Mexico, the desert, the heat, and 1 per day for the rest of the trail. These ensure that I won't suffer from hypernatremia as I'm going down the trail. The next item is Crystal Light packets, just flavoring for my water. This will help for those areas where even if I'm filtering the water, it might not taste very good if it's coming out of like a cow trough. I know I can get these in towns, and I'll probably get most of them in towns, but I do have quite a bit in each one of my resupply boxes to help get me through. The next item is 1-gallon Ziploc bags. These are the thru-hikers' trash bags. This is what a thru-hiker puts all his trash in from a day, and then it continues to collect until he reaches a point where he can throw away his trash, which could be 100 miles down the trail. These can be reused, but eventually they get old and need to be replaced. So each box has several, so I have a resupply. These are dehydrated towelettes. You just add water to them, they blow up, they're quite strong and quite versatile. I have 2 per day. I use 1 for the daily constitution, and then that'll get buried in the cat hole. These are biodegradable. And then I have 1 for at the end of the day, just to wipe down all the dust that I've accumulated. These are also dry towelettes, but they have soap in them, included in them, and you just add a little water and go for it. My wife added these to each one of my boxes. This is her contribution. She's worried I might get a little stinky on trail, and I think these will come in handy after I'm done doing a long section and I want to get a hitch into town. I can use one of these and I won't smell as bad in somebody's car as they're being generous enough to give me a ride into town. Lastly, the following items may or may not be in a box, depending on the distances between the boxes. First, I have suntan lotion and toothpaste, and then also a replacement razor. Next, condiment packets to spice up my lunch or dinner. A compactor trash bag in case the 2 that are inside my backpack, if one of them is starting to get worn. Otherwise, this will wind up in a hiker box because I'm sure another hiker could use it. Each box does contain these Velcro strips that go on the heel of my shoes to keep my Dirty Girl gaiters on. I have them in every box in case the ones that I have on my current shoes start to wear down or peel off. I've got a new set, and if the ones on my shoes are still good to go, I'll put these in a hiker box because Dirty Girl gaiters are pretty popular on trail, and so I'm sure somebody could use these. Lastly, since this box is arriving at mile marker 415, this box will contain some of my shoes, replacing these out every 400 miles, and this box will contain a new set of the Super Feet inserts. I replace the shoes every 400 miles. I replace the inserts every 800 miles. So that's my resupply strategy, where I'll be sending myself some boxes and what's in a typical resupply box. The CDT class of 2024 is on its way. Hikers are arriving down at Crazy Cook in New Mexico, the southern terminus, every day now. This is the time of the bubble. However, I'm still on track to start on 1 May, and I'm still getting ready for my hike. My next video will be on the 5 things that scare me the most about my Continental Divide thru hike. See you next time.